I'm very tempted to believe this rumor because it makes a lot of sense, especially since people aren't buying Rey action figures. If you think about it, Rey action figures are kind of like sex toys. I mean, people who buy them are ashamed to admit that they have them. You can see a mother and a child walking into Toys R Us. It's like, oh, cover your gaze, my son. It's the Star Wars sequel trilogy action figures. You shouldn't look at them. But that's how movies make money, by selling toys and merchandise, and this one didn't. So making a reboot makes absolute sense. Now, the bad thing is that you're never going to get any of the original actors again. You're not going to get Mark Hamill after they insulted him like that. They're definitely not going to get the actress who played Princess Leia, because she passed away. And I don't think even Harrison Ford wants to come back. I mean, if you listen to any of his interviews, he didn't really like the role of Han Solo, and all he wanted was for Han Solo to die. I mean, he actually says this in interviews. So I don't think you're going to get any of the originals. And it's sad, you know, they missed the opportunity. That's something that they took away from fans that is never going to come back again. Now, I don't know what they're going to do. Like, maybe they're going to just cover a different story completely. Maybe they're going to cast different actors and have them at a different point in the timeline. Or maybe do like what they did with James Bond, where they cast like some completely random actor and they still pretend that, oh yes, this is still Luke. But I don't know. I don't have much hopes anymore. The only thing that I want to say is that if this is happening, if this is true, you're going to notice a lot of people complaining. Like, there's going to be a lot of whining and moaning. And the complaints are going to be mainly from the corporate shills. Because we see that with Ghostbusters, when they remade Ghostbusters, it was the actors and the corporate shills crying bloody murder because they ignored their canon, quote unquote. So it's very funny, right? Like, when they get to ignore your canon, when they get to piss on the things that you love, you're like, oh, look at the man babies. Oh, look, the man babies are angry. They're crying. Ah, ha, 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 ha. We're in charge now. And when they get their things destroyed, they're like, oh my God, oh, misogyny, racism. Yeah, because these people, all they do is they do everything with spite. And that's why they can't create anything. There is no beauty. There is no passion in what they do. Everything is done out of spite. So they're very spiteful people and they can't make art. That's what I think. But I just want to point out, like, this is the reason that I'm making the video. If this turns out to be true, and if they're actually going to make a reboot, they will tacitly admit that they have failed. They will tacitly admit that they were wrong. And remember the number of times the corporate shills insulted you. The number of times they gaslighted people and said that because you don't like Star Wars, you're a misogynist. Because you don't like Star Wars, you're an evil person. You're a horrible human being. I mean, just think about it. Go on Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes and see all of the 10 out of 10 glowing reviews. See all of the critics that gave this a good review and know that they are sellouts. Their names should be forever etched in the annals of the internet of being sellouts. This was objectively a bad movie. And if the Disney, if the mouse, decides that they want to do a reboot, then it clearly means that they admit that they have failed. And every single mainstream critic that gave this anything above an 8 out of 10 should never be taken seriously. Their name should be slandered. People should have their opinions stuck on them. If you're a critic and you want to pretend that you're better than the fans, you want to pretend that you're better than everyone else who watches the movies, bad opinions should have consequences because different standards apply to you. They want to consider the critic as being more enlightened. In reality, it's just a twat, probably a woman that's quoted in cat piss, writing for The Guardian. And she has the same low IQ takes opinions just like everyone else. But for some reason, because she works at The Guardian, she's being considered to be prestigious. It's like she's authoritative as a critic. These people never face consequences when they lie to you and you lose your money. When you take their word for it and you spend money to go see a movie that you do not enjoy because they lied and they conned you into seeing it, they don't have any consequence. And I do think that their opinions and what they have said about the movie that objectively ended up as being bad should be held on to them. Unless, of course, Disney doesn't decide to reboot the trilogy, in which case, hey, egg on my face, right? My opinion should be stuck on me just like everyone else. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.